Hi y'all, it's Beth once again. We're almost at the end of this term, and I want to give you an overview of the next 3 weeks. Week 9, which is a short week because of Thanksgiving. Week 10, which would be the last week of classes if this were a face-to-face course. And week 11, which would be finals week if this course had a finals. It doesn't, have no fear. At the end of week 8, you will have finished your major project for this course, your essay number 2, which is your research paper. The next 3 weeks have 2 smaller assignments that I hope are much less stressful for you, and the possibility of an extra credit assignment. I want to go over these with you really quickly. What they do is fulfill the rest of this course's learning objectives. This course, you'll remember, is called Argument, Research, and Multimodal Composition. Well, we've been talking about argument in terms of a thesis and supporting it all the way through the term, both your own argument, your own thesis, and that of other writers and Dave Eggers in fiction. We've done research in lots of different ways, and now we're going to explore different modalities. You'll see here on the screen that I've got week 9 and week 10 drawn up here, the exploration of different modalities. What we're talking about here in modalities is different literacies. And we've been dealing mainly with verbal literacy, written literacy, using words to explain. I, though, in this course, have presented a lot of information to you, both visually, in terms of audios, in terms of videos, different ways, trying to get information across to you in as many different ways as possible. What I'm asking you to do in week 9 and week 10 is to take your thesis from your research paper and try to present it in a different way. It could be verbally too. You could write a letter to the editor. You could write an open letter to parents or to teachers or to people in general. Write a letter to CEOs in Facebook, Google, telling them what you think. That would be fine. Also, those of you who are more graphically oriented, you might want to do a cartoon, do something, drawing, stick figures work, or you might even explain it. For instance, you might say, I would have a picture of a family sitting around the table, all of them staring at their phones, and one of them leaves and nobody notices. That would be a sad thing, wouldn't it? But here I've given you, you'll notice on the page, I've given you a list of possibilities. This is where you're going to submit it. This is worth 20 points. I'm not going to grade it. I'll just give you credit for doing it. I'd like you to do it before Thanksgiving, so Wednesday. Just give me an idea of what you think you might do, and I'll be glad to help you with suggestions too. Now, for inspiration, I found out that Science Magazine has a contest for Dance Your PhD. So all of these people who are scientists who are writing about things that I don't understand have choreographed their work. I think you might want to look at some of these. For instance, dissolving microneedle patch for polio vaccination. I vaguely understand what that means, but a story of tumor suppression here, representations of the braid groups. Anyway, just something to have fun with, if you'd like, to get an idea. If you want to do it, you're certainly perfectly capable of it. Oh, let me get out of this. So now, that's just for inspiration, but anything you want to do is fine. I'll be writing more about this, and look at my overview. It says it too. Week 10, I'll actually want the different modality by Wednesday of the last week of classes. I don't want to assign anything to you early in the week after Thanksgiving, and I want to get y'all finished with this course because I know that that last week you're going to be busy with your other courses. I'm also giving you the chance, this is not required an extra credit, an attempt at an EFAST. This would be due by Sunday, not the Sunday after Thanksgiving, but the last Sunday of the quarter, December 3rd. And when I'm calling it an e-fast, I mean, can you do without social media for 8 hours, for 24 hours? Try it. I do care whether you succeed or not, but I'll give you extra credit no matter what if you write me something about it, a paragraph, a page, about how does it feel. I've had students who say they actually start twitching if they do without social media for very long. I've had students who say they reach for their phone, and then I've had students who say it doesn't mean that much to them anyway. Finals week, instead of a final, we'll have a self-evaluation. It's due the last Wednesday, the Wednesday of this week between December 4th and December 9th. There again, it's not worth much, but I'd like you, I think at the end of every writing course, to kind of regroup, to decide what's next. Has your writing improved? What do you plan to do next? This is the last writing class that many of you will ever have to take, but it's not the last writing that you'll have to do. So I'm kind of asking you to think very carefully. What would you do about your writing to make it better? Anyway, that's it. I hope you're doing fine, and let me know if I can help.